Hello, my name is Jonallycris D of BSCE Reg 1C, and this subject is physics. So, dito is i-explain ko yung mga natutunan ko sa unang lesson namin dito sa physics. So, sana po may explain ko ng maayos, pero I'm confident naman na may explain ko siya. So, ang una natin is position, distance, and displacement. We're supposed to take a trip from house A to house C and then to house B. So, ganito. House A, which is the initial point. Okay? Ayan, initial point to house C. Pupunta din after mo sa house C, babalik ka sa house C to house B, which is magiging final position natin. So, ang sukat nito is ng A to B is 2.1 miles. Then B to C is 4.3 miles. So, ang unang tanong is the displacement for this trip positive, negative, or zero? So, di ba sa Cartesian plane, whenever pupunta ka sa may right side, it's positive. So, parang i-apply lang natin to. Pero, meron ditong rule na kapag ang initial position is greater than final position, it's negative. Then, kapag naman ang final position natin is greater than initial, it's negative. Ay, positive. So, ang sagot natin is positive. Why? Kasi, di ba, sa may positive ka papunta, yung trip mo, di ba, papunta ka. So, mas malaki, mas mataas yung final position kaysa sa initial position. Ganun. Bisan, magagets nyo naman sa may figure ko. Eto, di ba, ito yung final position. Di ba, kapag papataas kang ganun sa positive, di papataas yung bilang ng number mo. Then, kaya mas mataas yung final position kaysa sa initial position. So, B natin is find the displacement for this trip. So, yung displacement natin, ang formula natin is delta x is equals to final position minus initial position. So, isa-substitute lang natin. So, final position natin is 2.1 miles. Diba? Ito yung initial natin, then ito yung final. So, gaano bang kalayo yon? 2.1 miles lang, diba? Yan, minus initial position natin, which is house A na 0 lang. Initial, so starting point. 0 yan, wala pang bilang. So, ang displacement natin is 2.1 miles. So, yan na yung sagot sa B. Sa C natin is, what is the distance covered in this trip? So, ibig sabihin nun is, yung kabuuang distance na tinravel mo. So, ang ano natin is D, dito na lang. D is equals to A to C plus C to B. So, isa-substitute natin A to C, madadaanan niya is 2.1 miles plus 4.3 miles plus 4.3 miles ulit kasi C to B, babalik. So, another. So, ayan. Compute lang natin, then ang makukuha natin is 10.7 miles. So, yan na yung pinaka-distance ng kabuuang trip mo sa dito. So, next is we have average speed and velocity. A dog runs back to a woman with an average speed of 1.32. Ay, ano pala to? Acceleration. Average speed na 1.32 meter per second from a distance of which, ito yung distance na 3.5 meter. How much time does it take for the dog to reach the woman? So, ang hinahanap nito is yung time na tinravel ng dog yung position niya, yung initial position niya, papunta sa woman, which is parang final position niya. So, ang formula natin is average speed is equals to distance all over elapsed time. So, mapapansin nyo, di ba? Meron tayong average speed and distance. And ang wala tayo is elapsed time, pero nandito siya under ng distance. So, ang gagawin natin is cross multiplication. So, mapupunta na dito sa kanan yung elapsed time. Then, under na nun, yung average speed is mapupunta sa distance. So, after nun, isa-substitute na lang natin. So, distance is 3.5 meter all over 1.32 meter per second. Then, para makuha natin yung time is, i-compute na lang natin yan. So, 3.5 divided by 1.32 is equals to 2.65. Cancel to cancel. So, 2.65 seconds yung tinravel ng dog papunta sa may babae. So, yun.
Next is we have acceleration. First example is a certain car can go from 0 to 60.0 miles per hour in 7.40 seconds. What is the average acceleration of this car in meters per second squared? So, meron tayong given na 0 to 60.0 miles per hour and 7.40 seconds. So, tapos, ang hinahanap naman is meters per second, pero ang meron tayo is miles per hour. So, kailangan muna natin i-convert yung miles per hour into meter per second. So, 60 miles all over hour. So, para ma-cancel yung miles, kailangan natin na ilagay yung 1 mile sa ilalim. Parang i-cross multiple para ma-cancel. Then, ilang meter ba ang meron sa 1 mile? Sa 60 mile. Hindi meron siyang 1,609 meters. So, cancel na natin yung mile. Then, para ma-cancel naman yung R, lalagay natin dito sa taas. Then, ilang seconds ang meron sa may 1 hour? 3,600 seconds. So, cancel. Tapos, i-compute na lang. So, ang nakuhang sagot is 26.82 meter per second. Pero ang hinahanap ko, di ba, is meter per second squared. So, dito na natin gagamitin to. So, meron tayong formula na average acceleration is equals to B final minus B initial all over T final minus T initial. Since initial, parang starting point, 0 yan. So, ito is B final, yung kinonvert. So, isa-substitute na lang. Compute na lang din ulit para So, yung pinakasagot natin is 3.62 meter per second squared. So, ang next natin is constant acceleration equations of motion. Then, ang kukunin is velocity as a function of time. Meron tayong formula na average acceleration is equals to BF minus B initial all over TF minus T initial is equals to A. Then, i-denote na lang natin itong mga Ito, yung BF denote natin as B. Then, ang B initial, denote natin as V over V0. Then, ang T initial is gagawin natin 0. Then, ang T final ay gagawin natin time. Ito mga dinote natin is isa-substitute natin dito. So, average acceleration is equals to V minus V0 all over T minus 0 is equals to A. So, after natin ma-denote, itong 0 na to is makaka-cancel na since 0 lang naman. Then, etong natin is data din natin dito sa may kanan. So, magiging ano yan, parang ita-times mo na siya dito. So, magiging A T is equals to V minus VO. Then, para matira yung V natin is ilipat natin itong V0 dito sa may kanan. Pero ayusin na natin. So, magiging V is equals to VO plus AT. So, ayan na yung equation number 1 natin na pwedeng gamitin sa velocity. Next is we have motion at constant acceleration. Example natin is a boat moves slowly with a constant speed of 1 meter per second. As soon as it passes the breakwater, it rattles up and accelerates at 2.40 meter per second squared. So, ang unang tanong is, how fast is the boat moving after accelerating for 5 seconds? Yun yung unang tanong. So, kunwara is, ito yung boat. Ito yung boat natin. Then, yung water. Then, andito sa more yung breakwater. Tapos, ito yung binilis niya as soon as nakadaan siya sa breakwater. So, ito yung given. So, ang una is, ang hinahanap is, how fast is the boat moving after accelerating for 5 seconds? So, ang gagamit, isulat muna natin yung mga given. So, ang initial velocity is 1.5 meter per second. Then, yung 2.40 meter per second natin is yung acceleration. A is equals to 2.40 meter per second squared. So, sa una natin is, ang gagamitin nating formula is yung sinagot natin sa last. Yung denote natin. So, ang formula na yon is V is equals to initial velocity plus A times T. So, sa-substitute lang natin ito. Yung yung V is equals to 1.50 plus 2.40 times, may binigay na time yung sa may tanong, 5 seconds. Ayan, then, pag-aano lang natin, compute, 1.5 plus 2.40 times 5 seconds is equals to Ang sagot is 13.5 meter per second. So, yan yung velocity natin. Ang next naman is sa V. Ang tanong is, how far has the boat traveled in this 5 seconds? So, hindi ko na-explain yung magiging formula natin, pero ito. X is equals to x0 plus 1 half VO plus V times time. So, isa-substitute lang ulit natin. Ito is initial siya. I-assume natin na ito lang yung dito siya nagsimula. Since wala namang ibinigay na given sa may equation natin. Ay, sa may tanong. So, assume natin na dito. So, magiging 0 na lang yan. So, x is equals to magiging 1 half na lang. Then, substitute ang BO. 1.5 meter per second plus yung B natin, which is yung nakuha lang natin kanina, plus 13.5 meter per second times time, which is 5 seconds. Yan. So, unahin natin yung mga nasa loob na ipag-compute. So, 1 half times 1.5 plus 13.5 plus 13.5 wait, ba't yung layo? 1.5 plus 13.5 is equals to 15 meter per second times 5 seconds. So, ayan, i-compute na natin sila lahat-lahat. So, 1 half times 15 times 5 seconds is equals to 37.5 meter. 37.5 meter. So, yan yung sagot natin sa letter B.
So next is we have freely falling bodies. Example is a volcano shoots out lava bomb from its summit. So kunwari, ito yung volcano natin. Yan. Then nag-shoots out siya ng lava bomb. Yan. A man observing the eruption uses a stopwatch to time the flight of a particular lava bomb that is projected straight upward. So, it means on upward siya, punta siya sa y-axis. If the time for the bomb to rise and fall back to its launch height is 4.7, so ibig sabihin, diba, sumabog yung lava bomb, then bumabalik lang siya sa sa may initial position. So, ayan. So, ang time niyan is 4.75 second. And its acceleration is 9.81 meter per second. Meter per second squared downward. So, di ba, upward siya, so magiging negative siya since opposite siya nung sinabi sa may example. So, ang hinahanap is what is the initial speed. Okay. So, since dito yung initial position niya, so ayan, y na lang since y siya papunta. So, magiging 0 na lang siya since ito ang starting point. Ayan. Tapos, ngayon, ito yung gagamitin natin formula is y is equals to y sub o plus v sub o times time plus 1/2 gravity. So, itong gravity, ito lang din yun. Times gravity times time squared. So, diba sinabi ko na kanina na ang y natin is dito, saka ang y sub o. So, eto, since starting point, magiging 0 na siya. Then, 0 na dito since bumalik lang yung final position. Bumalik lang yung lava bomb sa may initial position. So, magiging 0 lang din. So, ang magiging formula natin is 0 is equals to v sub o times time plus 1/2 times gravity times time squared. So, ang gagawin natin is, ang hinahanap natin is etong initial velocity. So, ang gagawin natin is, iiwan natin ito at etong simula dito, ililibot natin sa may kanan. So, magiging 1/2, ayusin natin, magiging v sub o times t is equals to 1/2, magiging negative, since inilipat, magiging 1/2 times gravity times time squared. So, para maiwan lang yung pinaka-hinahanap natin is kailangan natin i-cancel yung time. So, over time, para ma-cancel, then ito lang sa kabila. So, cancel. Ito, maka-cancel. Since dalawa yung time natin, maka-cancel to, then yan sa baba. Nagiging 1 na lang to. So, ang pinaka-formula natin is v sub o is equals to negative 1/2 times gravity times time. So, since na-simplify na natin yung pinaka-formula natin, substitute na lang natin yung mga given para makuha natin yung initial speed. So, ito. So, v sub o is equals to negative 1/2 times yung gravity natin, which is etong negative 9.81 meter per second squared times yung time natin, which is yung 4.75 seconds. So, para makuha is, i-compute na lang natin sila. So, magiging negative 1/2 times negative 9.81 times 4.75 is equals to, so yung initial speed natin is 23.30 meter per second since cancel. So, yan yung initial speed ng lava bomb.
We have vector components. Example number 1 is determine the components a sub x and a sub y for the vector a, whose magnitude and direction are given by a is equals to 3.5, a is equals to 3.5 meter, and theta is equals to 66 degree respectively. So, meron tayong dati sa may pinag-aralan namin, sa may trigo, na ganito, isa-substitute lang. So, a sub x is, parang ko is a sub x is equals to 3.5 meter cosine 66 degree. So, bakit naging cosine? Kasi, di ba, sa unit circle, kapag x-axis, cosine, then kapag y-axis is doon ang sine. So, isosolve lang natin. So, 3.5 cosine 66 is equals to 1.42. 1.42 meters. Then, sa may a sub y natin is 3.5 meter sine naman. Okay, sine 66 degrees. So, ang sagot naman is 3.2. 3.2 na. Round off, 3.2 meters. So, ito yung components natin. Sa components natin sa magnitude and direction, that is the binigay.
So now we have addition and subtraction of vectors. Example number 1 is what are the magnitude d and direction angle theta of the net displacement for the treasure hunt. So ito yung figure natin. Ayan. Then, parang ito yung pinaka-final position. So, kailangan pumunta tayo yan. Pero, hindi natin alam. So, itong mga direction na to is kailangan nating isolve para mapuntahan natin yung pinaka pupuntahan. So, una natin is, kukuhanin muna natin yung mga horizontal natin. So, a sub x is equals to, ito yung a natin, is equals to 3.75 cosine. So, naka-up lang siya, naka-direkta siya sa may y-axis natin. So, 90 siya. 'Di ba? Sa right triangle, 90, parang nakadiretso. So, cosine 90 degrees is equals to, so, solve natin yan. Kahit isahan na lang sa may calcu. 3.75 cosine 90 is equals to 0. So, ang AX natin is equals to 0. So, ang BX natin is 2.25. So, 2.25 cosine. So, nakagano siya. So, 0 siya. Diba? Sa may, ano siya sa may horizontal natin. 0 is equals to 2.25 cosine 0 is equals to 2.25. So, yung CX natin, C sub x is equals to 3 meter cosine negative 45. So, bakit naging 45? Negative 45. Kasi, di ba, parang naka-angle of depression siya sa may, ito yung magiging x-axis natin, then pababa. So, magiging negative. So, ang sagot is 2.12 meter. So, sa may ano naman tayo, vertical, sa may y-axis. So, a sub y is equals, papalitan natin yung cosine ng sine 3.75 sine 90 degrees is equals to 3.75 meter. Sa may v sub y is equals to 2.25 sine 0 degrees is equals to 0. Sa c sub y natin is equals to 3 sine negative 45 is equals to 2.12 meters. So, since nakuha na natin ito, direkta na tayo sa may pagkuha ng magnitude d sub x. So, d sub x, pag-a-addin lang natin itong mga to. 0 plus 2.25 plus 2.12 is equals to d sub x natin is equals to 4.37 meters. So, sa d sub y naman is equals to 3.75 plus 0 plus 2.12 is equals to 1.63 meters. So, nakuha na natin yung D natin, yung D sub x and D sub y. So, gagamitin natin yung isang formula para mas makuha natin. Yan. Yung ito. So, D sub y, 1.63 squared plus 4.37 squared. So, ikakalculate lang yan is yun din natin is 4.66 meter. Then, yung theta natin is inverse tangent, -1, tapos 1.63 times 4.37 millimeter yan, meter, cancel, is equals to yan, negative tangent, inverse tangent times 1.63 all over 4.37 is equals to, yung theta natin is 20.46. Yan. So, yan. So, sabi nga sa may explanation ng teacher ko, parang kung para mas malaman mo yung pinakamadaling way, so eto nga yun, which is yung D, kaya kinuha to. Pero para makuha pa yun, kailangan mo munang isolve yung parang long way para makuha itong short way. So, ayan. Projectile motion to zero launch angle. So, ang example natin is a person skateboarding with a constant speed of 1.30 meters per second releases a ball from a height of 1.25 above the ground. Ang unang tanong is given that x sub 0 is equals to 0, then y sub 0 is equals to height is equals to 1.25 meter. Find x and y for time is equals to 0.250 and time is equals to 0.5 seconds. So, dalawa yung hahanapin natin. So, ito yung figure ko. Ito yung tao na nag-release ng ball. Na ang height is 1.25. So, ayan, teka. Na 1.25 meter. Then, ang speed nun is, yung initial speed nun is B sub O x is equals to, B sub O na lang is 1.30 meter per second. So, yung B sub O y natin is 0. Bakit 0? Kasi, di ba, nag-release ng ball ito, pababa, papunta sa ground. So, hindi na mabibilang yun kasi sa may horizontal, lalatag yung ball. Then, yung AY A sub Y is negative gravity kasi, di ba? Pababa yung pagbagsak ng ball. So, pa-vertical. Then, yung A sub X natin is equals to 0 since wala namang acceleration or parang force na nangyari sa pagbagsak ng ball. Hindi mo naman binaksak yung bola na pa-horizontal, di ba? Pa-vertical. So, kaya siya nag-0. So, ngayon, kuhanin na natin since meron tayong given. Sa A, ang gagamitan natin formula sa X is V sub O times time. Then, sa Y is height minus 1/2 gravity times time squared respectively. So, yung X natin is ang V sub O natin is 1.30 meter per second times time. Yung unang hinahanap natin is 0.250 seconds. So, ayan. Then, ika-calculate lang natin. Sorry. 1.30 times 0.250 is equals to ang X natin sa may time na to is 0.325 meter. Yan sa X. Sa may Y naman natin is height which is 1.25 meter times minus 1/2 gravity, which is 9.81 meter per second squared, times yung time ulit na 0.250 seconds. So, compute lang para makuha. Ayan. 1.25 minus 1/2 times 9.81 times 0.250 is equals to 0.002 na lang. Okay, sulatan natin. Yung 4 decimal, 0.38 meter. So, yaan yung sa time natin na 0.250. So, i-write ko muna dito. Hindi. Yaan na yung sa may lagay ka nito. X and Y natin sa time na 0.250 seconds is 0.325 meter. Then sa Y is 0.0238 meter. So, ngayon, next naman natin is may 5 seconds. 0.5 seconds. Papalitan na lang natin to kasi wala na ako space. Sorry. Ayan, since yan lang din naman. Then yung answer, of course, may iba. So, palitan natin and magiging 0.5 seconds. Sorry. 5 seconds. Ayan. Then, compute natin. 1.30 times 0.5 equals to 0.65 meters. Then, sa Y is 1.25 minus 1/2 times 9.81 times 0.5 is equals to, yan, 0.5 natin is is negative 1.2225. So, ito yung nakuha nating height sa may time natin na 0.250 seconds and 0.500. Okay, so sa letter V naman natin, dito sa may projectile motion, zero launch angle is, ang question is find the velocity, speed, and direction of motion of the ball at time is equals to 0.5 seconds. So, kailangan nating hanapin yung B sub Y muna natin. So, ito, ang formula is B sub Y is equals to negative gravity times time. So, di ba, ang gravity natin is 9.81 meter per second squared. So, ang magiging ano niyan is negative 9.81 meter per second squared times na yung time na given is 0.500 seconds. So, ayan. So, i-compute lang natin and ang kalalabasan ng V sub Y natin is negative 4.91 meter per second. Since available na yung yung V sub O natin and yung V sub Y, pwede na nating makuha yung velocity. And ang gagamitin lang natin para makuha yung velocity is yung Pythagorean theorem. So, ang una is B sub X muna, which is 1.3 meter per second squared plus negative 4.91 meter per second. So, ang magiging sagot natin dyan is 5 meter per second. So, ang next na natin is kukuhanin na natin is yung theta. Okay, para makuha yan is gagamitin natin yung formula na inverse tangent times b sub y all over v sub x. Then, of course, isa-substitute lang natin. Tangent theta, inverse tangent v sub y, which is yung negative 4.91 na meter per second natin, all over yung b sub x natin na 1.30 meter per second. So, pag kinompute natin, ang kalalabasan niyan is, ang theta natin is negative 75.2 7 degree. Sorry, dito na ako. So, ayan na yung mga sagot. So, next is we have projectile motion general launch angle. So, ang example is a projectile is launched from the origin with an initial speed of 20.0 meter per second at an angle of 35 degree. So, ito yung angle natin. Yan yung 35 degree. Tapos, ang initial speed niya is, which means yung from the origin, na 20.0 meter per second. Above the, 35 degree above the horizontal. Find the x and y positions of the projectile at the time, yung time which is tatlo, 0.5, 1 second, and then 1.5 second. So, iisa-isahin natin yan para iisa-isahin natin yung time to find the x and y position. So, ang formula natin sa may x is equals to b sub o x times time is equals to b sub o cosine theta time. Then, sa y natin is v sub o sine theta times time minus 1/2 gravity times time squared respectively. So, since ayan na yung formula na isa-substitute na lang natin sila. So, dito po tayo sa 0.5 second. Sorry, gagayahin na po kita. And, so, x muna tayo, of course. Yung b sub o natin, which is yung initial. So, ang initial natin is, 20.0 meter per second cosine 35 degree. Yan, may 35 times time na 0.5 seconds. So, since isa-compute na lang natin sila lahat sama-sama. So, 20 times cosine 35 is equals to may time pa pala. Times 0.5 is equals to 8.19. So, ang x natin, ang position natin sa x sa time na 0.5 is 8.19 meter. So, sa may y naman tayo. VO which initial 20 meter per second sine. So, na-explain ko naman na kanina na kung bakit sine and cosine yung ginagamit. Diba? Cosine kapag sa x-axis, then sa y naman is sine. So, sine 35 degrees minus 1/2 gravity na 9.81 meter per second times time na 0.500 seconds squared. So, i-compute lang natin sila lahat and ang kalalabasan niyan is 4.51 meter. So, ayan, nakuha na natin yung dalawang position na x and y sa oras na 0.5 seconds. So, ilista lang natin dito muna. Kasi ipapalit ko na lang. So, 0.5. 0.5, yeah. x is 8.19 meter. Then sa y na 4.51 meter. So, para makuha naman natin yung sa iba, papalitan lang natin yung time na to. So, gagawin sa may at 1 second na tayo, ha? Yan. Papalitan ko lang sila. 1 seconds. So, ayan. Ang makukuha ko sa x sa 1 seconds, 1 second, is 16.4 meter. Then sa y natin is 6.57 meter. So, ayun na siya. Ilista natin. 1 second. Ang x is 16.4 meters. Then sa y natin is 6. So, next and last natin is yung 1.5 seconds. Sorry, ano na ako. 1.5 seconds. So, ayan, di ba? Isa lang yung formula natin, then papalit-palitan lang natin ng time para makuha natin yung x and y position using the time na given na binigay sa atin. So, ang makukuha natin dito sa may 1.5 second na x is 24.6 meter. Then sa y natin na 6.50 wait lang, ano ko na, 20 sine 35 minus 1 half, minamalat na po ako, sorry sir, 1 half times 9.81 times 1.5 is equals to bakit mali ako? 4.11. Yun yung nakuha ko. 9 ayan. Ay, sorry, namali ako. 0.5 pala ang nalagay ko. Papalitan ko. Yan, is equals to 24. Ay, no, mali ako. Ang cosine na ilagay ko. Gulo-gulo. Okay, 20 sine, ulit 35, minus 1 half times 9.81 yung gravity natin, then 1.5. So, ang answer na makukuha is 4.11. 4.11 meters. Yan. So, ayan na yung mga position ng x and y using the given na ibinigay.